What if the candy you trusted your child with on Halloween was the very thing that would take their life? This is the terrifying true story of the Candyman, a father who turned Halloween into a nightmare that still haunts parents to this day. On Halloween night 1974, in Deer Park, Texas, something unimaginable happened. A piece of candy, something that should have been an innocent treat, became a weapon, leading to the tragic death of 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien. But what makes this story even more horrifying is that the person responsible for this deadly trick was none other than Timothy's own father, Ronald O'Brien. This isn't some urban legend or ghost story. This is a real-life horror that sent shockwaves through communities across America and changed Halloween forever. Stay with me as I share the chilling details of how one man, driven by greed, shattered the innocence of Halloween night and became known as the Candyman. In today's video, we'll uncover how a simple Halloween tradition turned into a nightmare no one saw coming. It's Halloween night in 1974 in Deer Park, Texas, a small town that, like many others, is filled with the joys of trick-or-treating. Children in costumes are running from door to door, their bags filling up with candy as jack-o'-lanterns flicker on every porch. The excitement is palpable. The thrill of the night's spooky fun has the town buzzing with energy. For 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien, it's the perfect night to be out with his family, collecting candy and enjoying the festivities. Accompanied by his sister and father, Ronald O'Brien, Timothy is unaware of the true horror that's about to unfold, one that will forever change the way Halloween is seen in America. While Halloween is supposed to be filled with harmless scares, what Timothy didn't know was that this particular night was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Behind the joy of trick-or-treating, Ronald O'Brien had devised a cold and calculated plan. He had taken out life insurance policies on his children with a deadly idea in mind: to kill his son and collect the payout. To carry out this horrifying act, Ronald had laced a pixie sticks with cyanide. Timothy, eager for a treat after a night of fun, chose that pixie sticks. Just minutes after consuming it, Timothy collapsed, his body overtaken by the effects of the poison. His father's twisted plan was in motion, but the nightmare was only beginning. The news of Timothy's sudden death sent shockwaves through the town. Parents who had sent their children out for what should have been a safe night of fun were now gripped with fear. Was more candy poisoned? Could this happen to their children? The very thing that symbolized the joy of Halloween, candy, had now become a source of terror. As the investigation progressed, the community's horror only deepened. Authorities soon discovered the sickening truth. The cyanide-laced candy had been intentionally given to Timothy by his own father. Ronald had even attempted to distribute the poisoned candy to other children, all in an effort to stage the murder as a random Halloween tragedy. When it became public that Ronald O'Brien had orchestrated his own son's death for financial gain, the sense of betrayal was overwhelming. This was more than just a crime. It was an act of unimaginable cruelty that shattered the trust between parents and the Halloween tradition. The fear spread far beyond Deer Park, as parents across the country began questioning the safety of Halloween candy. Ronald O'Brien, now known as the Candyman, was arrested, convicted of murder, and sentenced to death. His execution in 1984 brought some closure, but Timothy's death left a scar on Halloween that still lingers to this day. The story of the Candyman is a chilling reminder that sometimes the real monsters aren't the ones hiding behind masks. Ronald O'Brien's cold, calculated actions turned a beloved holiday into a nightmare and forever altered the way parents view Halloween. What was once a night of innocent fun became tainted by fear. As we prepare for another Halloween, let this story remind us that absolute horror doesn't always wear a costume. Sometimes the true terror is much closer than we think. If you found this story unsettling and want more real-life horror stories, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Have you ever heard of the Candyman case? Let me know in the comments and tell me, have you ever felt uneasy about Halloween candy? Stay safe out there, and remember, sometimes the scariest things are the ones you trust the most.